Well, we are so excited about the annual breakfast, and we're so grateful to Eaton Peabody and CES Inc. for being our sponsors this year. So thank you both, David and Dennis, for being here. What we need to do now is come up with a great video to kick the breakfast off. So I've got some notes with a couple of ideas I thought I'd float by you, and also by Jason here at WVII, and see if we can come up with something really cool and fun and that really makes the point that you want to get across about your companies. So
Cool
I was
fun.
wondering, we'll start with David Austin at Eaton Peabody. What is the one thing, looking at the business community right now, the audience here this morning, that you would like the business community to know about Eaton Peabody that perhaps they don't?
Yeah, well, that's an interesting question. I mean, our law firm's 100 years old.
Wow.
Mr. Eaton started that firm in 1917, and forgive me for my voice, everyone, as I explained to Deb. Yeah, so as you can imagine, over 100 years, things have changed a lot. We have 5 offices. We consider ourselves a statewide law firm with over 50 lawyers and consultants. Part of our strategic plan is focused on Maine. We are focused on Maine businesses, Maine clients, people who either want to start businesses here and grow businesses here, or are looking to come to Maine and establish a presence in Maine. And that may be a little bit different than some of our other larger firm competitors. We've really made a strategic plan to say Maine is where we want to focus our energy.
And Dennis, same question to you. Again, we're trying to come up with some ideas for this awesome video. What is the one thing you'd like the business community to know about CES Inc. that they might not know about?
Well, we're one of the larger employers of professional services in the area. We have 100 employees. We're also recognized as one of the best places to work in Maine, which we're excited about. But a lot of our work's behind the scenes. We're doing environmental monitoring of projects. We're doing environmental compliance, surveying properties, doing engineering design. So it's a vast array of services that we do for a lot of different clients.
All right, so there's some good nuggets in there that we might be able to use for a video. Jason?
I think we're good, yeah.
Yeah? What do you think? Can we use some of that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I've got a couple more ideas. First of all, happy anniversary, Eaton Peabody, and also CES. You're both celebrating big anniversaries. You said 100 years?
It's actually 100. Mr. Eaton started his law practice in 1917, and then Mr. Peabody joined him. So officially could go back 100 years.
And I know you haven't been around for all of those 100
No, 96.
years. But in your opinion, what do you think has changed most over the course of a century?
Wow. Well, there's a lot that's changed. I think the pace of things has changed. That's no different than what our clients are experiencing. It's just particularly the pace of technology, the way we practice. When I first arrived at Eaton Peabody, we had a floor with an entire law library on it, with a librarian. Now we have everything on our smartphones and laptops. Everything's instantaneous, and how we communicate with our clients and our relationships have all become digital or electronic. I think the impact of the national economy and the global economy is something that's changed as well. I think we see it with our natural resources clients particularly, and how that has impacted them has certainly had an impact on us. So we try to follow how they've adapted. So while Maine has always been heavily natural resource based, whether it's timber, fishing, we've always been in those sectors, and we still are. It's just, it's different. And right now I think you're seeing a renaissance where same resources just being used differently. We're doing the same thing in terms of our practices in trying to follow how our clients are adapting to this new global economy, if you will.
So a lot has changed, but what has remained the same? What has remained consistent over
Relationships.
the last century?
I think
Relationships,
yeah, it's key. I think we communicate in so many different ways now, electronically, digitally, but at the end of the day, maintaining a very close working relationship and understanding of what the business and client is trying to achieve, it's just as important as it was 100 years ago. And I think Mr. Eaton and Mr. Peabody and all the generations of lawyers before us, they really understood that, and the importance of having those close relationships in the community, and that hasn't changed. I don't think it ever will.
Yeah. And CES, happy anniversary to you as well. Let's talk about that.
Thank you. Yeah, we're celebrating our 40th anniversary. So our company started 2 professional engineers, and we've grown that to 100 employees. We started in Maine, in the greater Bangor area, but now we're working throughout the state of Maine, and recently acquired a company down in Florida. So we've got two different operations going on.
What's changed the most in 40 years?
Well, the easy answer would be technology. We have a survey grade drone now, so we can do surveys from the air. Computer software, hardware has changed dramatically, and really has changed the way we do things as engineers and surveyors. But what hasn't changed is the dedication to our employees and the passion that we have to help our clients succeed in their objectives.
Did you ever think you'd have drones 40 years ago? Can you even imagine that?
I didn't know what a drone was.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
yeah, technology, and as David said, the pace of things has really picked up. You know, every one of our employees has a smartphone and can do work wherever they are, so it's changed a lot.
So we could do something about anniversaries, Jason, and what's changed and what's remained the same. It's good stuff. All right, another thought. Both CES and Eaton Peabody give a lot back to the community, and often you do this quietly, you know, not looking for extra credit or extra attention. Let's talk about the many ways. We'll start with CES, Dennis. We'll start with you. Let's talk about how CES Inc. gives back to the community and why that's so important.
Yeah, we're really proud of our employees' generosity. So United Way of Eastern Maine has been a big focus area for us and our employees. And one of the things we're proud of is how generous they are, and it shows up as CES gets one of the gold awards every year. So it's a high achievement, and it's really all of our employees' generosity that gets us there. But as engineers and surveyors and environmental scientists, we like to solve problems. And a recent example of that is that Good Shepherd Food Bank announced that they were coming to the area with a distribution facility. And once we got to learn more about what their goals were, we thought, wow, that's really good. That's kind of similar to our mission. They really needed to get fresh produce to people that in need, and they needed a distribution facility in this area to get there, to get to Eastern Maine and Northern Maine. So we felt good about their mission. We agreed to commit to $100,000 to their cause, and we also challenged local businesses to match that. Other examples would be the University of Maine, how important University of Maine is and other educational facilities are in this area. As well as engineers and scientists and surveyors, we need good employees that are educated well, and University of Maine has been a big supplier of good quality people for us. So we've agreed in the past to contribute $100,000 to an environmental chemistry lab, as well as more recently another good donation to the University of Maine engineering facility. Pretty exciting new project. And then we try to encourage all of our employees to volunteer, dedicate time to good causes, and we have every year we have a committee that meets on requests for donations. So we really try to focus on giving back to the communities.
Thank you. And Eaton Peabody, David.
Yeah, well, I think what Dennis just described is what you see in the greater Bangor region and state of Maine generally. It's businesses are doing an incredible amount to give back to the community, and they always have. That's the one thing I really love about this area. It really achieves so much more than you would think for a community our size, and it's not just Eaton Peabody or CES. It's a collective group that's doing all the things that Dennis is talking about. It's for Eaton Peabody, it's really a part of our DNA. I think there's rarely a day or a month at least that I don't see some attorney's name on a college or a university or some other board or organization helping to establish a new nonprofit or something that's really been a pillar of helping out the community. So that's kind of built into us, and we encourage that as soon as people start with Eaton Peabody. In 2008, we established a foundation, an Eaton Peabody Foundation. This past year, we've made food insecurity a major priority for that foundation. So Dennis, thank you for everything you've done there at Good Shepherd. But it's clearly something that I think the region is recognizing as a current priority. So I'm really proud of that. I would just say the other thing I'm really proud of is just getting the phone call or a note from something that's going on that I have no idea about. A staff person maybe is volunteering at a local food bank or helping with a cancer drive or something like that, and someone just drops you a quick note. And it's not something we've taken on necessarily as a firm initiative, but you either get the phone call and say, I just want to thank you for so-and-so's effort. That really kind of makes your day when that happens. So it's at all levels, and I think it's really a part of our culture, the way we approach that. And as I said, it's amazing what the community achieves together.
And that you both encourage your employees
Absolutely.
to be active in the community. That's also, it's great for morale as well.
Right.
It makes a big difference for the community, and I'm sure for your employees as well. Feels good. Thank you both so much for all that you do. Jason, we could do a whole video about that. Absolutely. Right? We could make that happen. So this is coming together. What do you think, Jason? You think we can pull something good together out of all of this? Can we make something happen? All right.
Do we get donuts? You said there'd be donuts.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
Donuts.
Yeah, we make the donuts.
No donuts?
Yeah, and you've really driven home the point that, you know, Jason has said this and we've said this, that together we can do anything. And we're so fortunate as a Chamber of Commerce. We've been in business for more than a century. To your point, it's just well, both of you, it's such a great community to be part of, and thank you for all that you do, not only for the Chamber, but for the community, the greater good of this region as a whole. It's much appreciated, and it's great to learn more about that from you this morning. Thank you for sponsoring the breakfast as well and making this event possible.
Thank you,
and certainly thanks to all of the businesses who are joining us this morning, because I'm sure you'll agree that every single person in the room today is giving back and making a contribution to the community we're fortunate to live in.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Jason, you good? We got something?
I think we have a video.
All right. So is that a wrap?
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.